Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Hari Om. So in the fourth verse, Pranarodhena Vrittinam Nirodha Sadhito Bhavet. Vrittirodhena Vrittinam Janmasthane Sthito Bhavet. That is the principle. So through pranayama, the thoughts are reduced, and when the mind is become freed from the pull of prana, pranamaya sharira, pranamaya, pranas, dragging the mind into the world outside. When the mind is not disturbed by the external worldly things, and eventually the thoughts are reduced and they automatically settle in their own source. So tasmin majjativa tad bahirmukhi kartum pavano nirviryasan nischeshtaha. So prana becomes nischeshta because that bahirmukhatvam, extrovertedness of prana, is not there because the pranayama has achieved this task. So therefore, along with the mind, when mind is absorbed in its own source, janmasthane, along with the mind, prana also gets merged. Therefore, prana manasoho ubhayoho api ekamulatvat atra iyam bhagavati Ramana vak bhavati. Now we saw how come when pranayama is achieved, mind is also influenced by prana, and when prana becomes peaceful, mind also becomes peaceful. And a peaceful mind, the thoughts become very slow, very, very minimal, and whatever the leftover thoughts are there, they are merged in its own source. So what is the link between these two? So here author quotes Upadesha Saram. What it says? Chittavayavaha chitkriyayutaha shakayordvayi shakti mulaka iti. In this regard, prana manasoho ubhayohi ekamulatvat. Now prana and mind both have emerged from same source. Both have emerged from the same source, prana and the mind. So there are two branches. Shakayoho, dvayi shakayoho. And the source is one, Shakti Mulaka. Now, what is Chit? Chit is knowledge. So, mind is associated with Chit or consciousness. And the prana is associated with kriya, activity. Right? Vayavaha pranaha. So, knowledge and activity, jnana and kriya, both are two branches of the same source. From the same source, One branched out as jnanam, consciousness. One branched out as prana, activity. Knowledge and activity. One is jnana shakti, other is kriya shakti. These two have emerged from the same source. So, that means what? When they have a common root from which these two have emerged, prana and mind, activity and knowledge. Because mind is associated with chaitanya, consciousness, knowledge, and prana is associated with activity, kriyas. Karmendriyas are associated with prana. Now, what is happening? The same source, when they emerge out, as they branched out, the gap between these two increases. They keep on increasing over a period of time, over millions of lives. So there is no symphony, synchronization, attunement between these two. They are disarrayed. They are not tuned properly to between them. There is no balance. So because of this, when they grow wider and wider, they branch up and up, wider and wider. So that leads to all kinds of problems in one's own existence over a period of many lives, not on one life, continuous. So more failure, more sorrow, more problems will come because of these two are bifurcated, branched out, wider gap it became. Now, lesser the gap between these two. Then what happens? They become more integrated. When gap is reduced between these two, because they came from same source. So, when the gap is reduced between these two, integration takes place. So, integration means that becomes an integrated personality. See, for example, I know is Jnana Shakti. For example, I know is, what is it Jnana Shakti it is? I have knowledge, I know. I don't know how to do. Is Kriya Shakti is absent or incomplete, incoherent. Sometimes I don't know, but I act. Sometimes I know, but do not know how to act. So in our life, there is a mismatch between these two. Many things we know, but we don't act on it. We can't act. Certain times, many things we don't know, but we pose as though we are wise people and take decisions and act. So this mismatch between Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, these two are branched out. And when happens, when the gap is reduced, slowly the Kriya Shakti comes under the discipline of Jnana Shakti. So Kriya is Karya, if you say. Jnanam is the F cause, you know. So activities are undertaken according to the knowledge. So what knowledge you got in buddhi, in the mind buddhi antakaranam. And if we are able to live according to our knowledge, what we are convinced of, that knowledge, and we are able to live according to our knowledge, then there is integration. That is called Satyam in Shastric knowledge, Paribhasha. What is Satyam? Satyam means Satyam and Rutam, both are talked about. So, Rutam vadishyami, satyam vadishyami. So satyam is the correct understanding which takes place in the buddhi, certified by the guru, certified by shastra, confirmed by guru. That becomes true knowledge, satyam. What is ritam? Implementing that satyam as it is in the field of action is ritam. So satyam and ritam. Ritam is kriya shakti, satyam is jnana shakti. So when these two integrated, that person becomes satya sankalpa. Whatever sankalpa he takes, that will happen. Now, how to bring these two and merge? Beautiful commentary will come. This is the sadhana. So to bring that kind, this therefore the danda, the stick that the Mahatmas hold straight one indicates that there is a kaya, vacha, manasa, we are integrated. So what I know from my guru, that alone I speak, and what I speak, I do. This is the alignment. So all the forces, Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti gets aligned. This alignment starts happening only when we start moving towards the source of these two. So in the source only they can be joined. In the root only they can be joined. So prana and mind, prana if you control, mind also is influenced by prana, and mind is influenced, it again re-influences the prana. Both are nothing but, otherwise how can pranayama gives mind control, peaceful mind? So vrittis become, thoughts become slow and steady and withdraw and then find their source or merge into their source, because there is a connection between prana and the mind. The Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, Shakti Mulaka. Both have emerged from the same source. So, Atha, now, even though this is the fundamental principle behind pranayama, Atha, now, Yadyapi Keshanchit Pranarodhena eva Mano Nigraha Sadhaniyo Bhavati. In some cases, the some cases Keshanchit, generally, Keshanchit for some people. Those prana nirodhena eva mano nigraha sadhaniyo bhavati. Mind control is achieved only through prana, pranayama. So prana control is the easier way. By mind is too subtle. So prana I can hold through breath. I can feel little grosser than the mind. So through prana nirodhena eva mano nigraha sadhaniyo bhavati edyapi. Although this is possible, tathapi, even then, prana nirodhasya hata yoga sadhanani na anivaryani iti. Now, okay. So pranayama leads us to mind control. Now Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi makes a so beautiful point here. Hatha Yoga Sadhana, which speaks about pranayama techniques and various pranayamas to control the mind, which are given in Hatha Yoga, are not indispensable. Are not indispensable means what? They can be dispensed. They are not necessary. Hatha Yoga practices are not necessary to control the mind. So Hatha Yoga is not indispensable. You can dispense Hatha Yoga. If you want to control the mind, one must practice pranayama, as or according to the techniques given in the Hatha Yoga. No other way. In Hatha Yoga, there are scores of pranayamas are available. Kriya yogas are given. Do this, do that, do this, do that. This mudra, that mudra. Bahuprayasa. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, this Hatha Yoga is not indispensable, meaning Hatha Yoga need not be practiced to achieve the mind control. Then what method Bhagavan suggests? Here he says, he is given, therefore, na anivaryani iti tasya sukshmam margam pradarshayati. There is still subtler way. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi advocated this path. So with this background, we should understand the entire pranayama as a, which pranayama Ramana Maharshi suggested? Pranarodhascha manasa pranasya pratyavekshanam kumbhakam siddhyati hyevam satata pratyavekshanat. Pranarodhascha manasa pranasya pratyavekshanam kumbhakam siddhyate hyevam satata pratyavekshanat. So this is the technique given by Ramana Maharshi, Buddha Bhagavan, observing the breath. Buddha Bhagavan said, disciples, follow the breath up to your enlightenment. That is the message given by Buddha Bhagavan. There is no need to hold the nose. No. Ramana Maharshi says, Prana rodhascha prana niyamana swarupam kim iti chet. What is the nature of this pranayama? What is its nature? How to control? How to do pranayama? How to bring prana into control? Discipline. Iti chet manasa pranasya pratyavekshanam. This is a secret. Observing the breath by the mind. Lot yet, very many things are coming now. Observing the breath by the mind. Manasa pranasya pratyavekshanam. Manasa karanena pranasya karmani shashti. So pranuko, man ke dwara pranuko, karmani shashti, pratyavekshanam, jagarokataya pranasya gati agati anusrutya. With full awareness, with alertness, high degree of vigilance, alertness. Jagarokataya pranasya gati agati. Gati going, agati coming inside. So coming in the breath, going inside and coming out. It's a mystery. The mystery in the creation is breath. Who runs it, how it goes, and what is, nobody else is seen around me who is monitoring the breath physically. It's an automated process. It's something very mysterious it is. So, gati agati anusrutya, follow it. Following the meaning avalokanam anusandhanam iti yavat. Avalokanam anusrutya, but follow it. Meaning just observing the breath. As it is going in, be with the breath as it goes out. When another thought comes, you are away from the breath. The observation is broken. So, One thought comes, for a split second mind goes somewhere. That moment observation is gone. So even to begin with few minutes every day, high degree of alertness, arresting the mind, observing the breath. In the beginning it is not possible. Avalokanam or anusandhanam, meaning move along with the breath, mind is moving. So mind is riding over the breath. Mind is well seated. Total mind is fixed on the pranic flow. Mind sits on the prana, total mind, and got glued. So, as the breath is moving, the mind also is moving with it. Mind, along with the breath, going in, observing, and going out. Going in, observing the breath. So, yavat evam anena prakarena, by following this method of observing the breath, satata pratyavekshanat, avichedena, without any break, satata pratyavekshanat, all the time. All the time means start with 5 minutes and increase and increase. Then that always the awareness of breath will be there. Satata pratyavekshanat avichedena, without any break. Prana vayu chalana anvekshanena, that is prana vayu chalana anvekshanena, observing the movement of the pranas in the body. Prana vayu chalana anvekshanena. What is happening? That is kumbhakam, yata yata virama rupam. What is kumbhakam? There is retention, where there is no breath coming in and going out. So, purakam, rechakam, kumbhakam is where it is there, it is stopped. Breath is there, with held retention. So that is what is happening here. Yata yata virama rupam. So there is a gap, the turning point. For a split second, there is a kumbhakam taking place. And comes out. So that takes turn. For a split second, it stays there. And comes out. And this kumbhakam is expanded by yogis, hatha yogis. Duration is expanded. It can be expanded to aeons. Not 1 second, 2 seconds. But Mahayogis, they can expand. They just completely stop the breath. There is no inhaling and exhaling. They remain in kumbhakam, hatha yogis. So, yata yata virama rupam. There is a virama, break, that is no inhaling, no exhaling. It is kumbhaka, retention. Prana nirodhanam, siddhyati, siddham bhavati. Automatically kumbhakam is attained. So, when prana is attained kumbhakam, mind dissolves. There is a word he in the word sloka, yoga vitsu prasiddham dyotayati, meaning it is very well known. He indicates that it is very well known to the yogis, knowers of yogas. They know. So they practice that, kumbhaka practice. Now, uchvasa, nishvasa, gati anusarini, manovrittihi ekagratayam paryavasati. Now, uchvasa, nishvasa, inhaling and exhaling, gati anusarini manovrittihi. When you are observing the gati, it leads to manovritti ekagratayam paryavasati. They all culminate in high concentration in the mind. Because all the thoughts are not there. Mind is focused. It attains a high state of concentration. Ekagratayam siddhayam pranena saha manaha swajanmasthanam gacchati. When the ekagra is achieved, then that mind, highly concentrated mind, along with the prana, because it is integrated. No, prana is integrated. Prana is controlled by pranayama. Mind also controlled by pranayama. So pranayama does, prana is also regulated, mind also is regulated. They both integrated. When they both integrated, manaha and pranena saha, along with the prana, swajanmasthanam gacchati. It goes to its own source or origin. Gacchati iti. Yetam manasa pranarodha paddhatim. This is the control of prana by observing, by mind, is called itself called ajapam gayatrim ahuhu. This is called ajapa gayatri. There is no japa, no chanting, observing. So this achievement of prana nirodhana paddhati, achieving the control of prana, by prana merges into mind and mind goes back to its source. This is called ajapam gayatrim ahuhu. Prayatna kruta japasya avidyamanatvat. There, in this ajapa gayatri, all kinds of efforts in chanting the name of the Lord is dropped. There is no effort in the mind chanting the name of the Lord or through Vani. All these efforts have stopped. That is called ajapa gayatri. There is no japa there. Ajapa gayatri it is called. Idameva sadhanam. This sadhana alone, that is controlling the prana by the mind, by observing the inhalation and exhalation, idam eva sadhanam soham vichara nishtaihi. Those people who are perfected the sadhana of soham vichara, saha aham vichara, he is me, soham vichara nishtaihi hamsa upasanam uchyate. This itself is called as hamsa upasanam. The breath observed, where it is going and coming out, it is called ajapa gayatri, and also soham vichara. Those who are contemplating on this soham, they call it as hamsa upasanam uchyate. Right? Atha, now, yadyapi pavanagatehe ayatna siddhatvad ayam kumbhakah sampadakaha. Even though yadyapi pavanagatehe ayatna siddhatvad, without any extra effort, without any effort, by merely observing, where there is no holding the nose, where there is no counting, where there is no formula, nothing. This sadhana, kumbhaka sampadakaha nigraha upayaha sahajo bhavati. This kind of sadhana, this nigraha upaya, the means of controlling the mind with this technique, it becomes quite natural. There is no effort involved in this. There is no effort involved in this. Quite natural it is. No, tathapi, even though it is quite natural, it can be achieved by merely observing the breath. Tathapi, even then, krutinam balavatam keshanchid eva ayam shakyaha. Among the doers, those who are very strong, they alone can do this sadhana, not everybody. Oh, that's why I take protein. The power in the mind to focus. Our mind is chanchala. It goes idhar, udhar, idhar, udhar. And all the useless things we remember only on seat of meditation. So we don't have strength to do it. Manobalam is not there. Mind is weak. Very, very weak, timid. Therefore, this sadhana is not fit for us. पर निरंतर लगातार करना है. It's not one day you do establishing enlightenment आ गया है. जन्म जन्मांतर there are people trying. Therefore, balavata kurtinam balavatam keshanchit eva ayam shakyah. That is, for some people who are very strong ones are there. For them alone, this path is possible. This sadhana is possible. Tasmad anyesham upayantarena kumbhakam upadishyate. Therefore, for others, other means to achieve kumbhakam is advocated. Others means, we don't know whether we fall in the other category also, we should see now. बाकी सभी को ऐसा नहीं कह सकते. Second grade, third grade, fourth grade. If I am 1000th grade, that also will tell, Bhagwan will tell. उसके लिए भी थोड़ा conditions होता है. आकर बताते वो. अभी, so other methods are given. येषां नैतेन विधिना शक्तिः कुम्भक साधने हठयोग विधानेन तेषां कुम्भकमिष्यते. येषां नैतेन विधिना शक्तिः कुम्भक साधने हठयोग विधानेन तेषां कुम्भकमिष्यते. Those who cannot achieve kumbhakam by this method, by observing the breath, which is supreme technique. For others to achieve kumbhaka, Hatha yoga is given. Hatha yoga. नाक पकड़ के गिनते रहो. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ऐसा करके. अनुलोम विलोम नाक पकड़ो, ये करो, वो करो. The other, that is not required actually if you are highly qualified spiritual seeker. But we are not. Therefore, other. So, yesham sadhakanam etena पूर्वोक्तेन विधिना प्राण प्रत्यवेक्षण विधानेन इति यावत् कुंभक साधने शक्ति न भवति. Those people who don't have enough energy and strength to practice the previous indicated sadhana means to achieve kumbhakam, tesham, for them, hatha yoga vidhanena kumbhakam ishyate. So for them, hatha yoga is given. Hatha yoga vidhana is given. Spashtam. Now it's clear for them. Now, atra idam uchyate. In this regard, this is very important to note. It is said this way. What is that? Yadyapi uttama adhikaranam paripakva chetasam apekshya jaganyamidhi hatha yoga vihitam kumbhaka sadhanam. When even although from the standpoint of or with respect to Uttam Adhikaris, the best among the seekers, practitioners, Paripakva Chetasam, who are the best among the practitioners? Those whose minds are purified. Paripakva Chetasam, apeksha, keeping them in view, compared to them, apeksha, compared to them, jaganyamidi hata yoga vihitam kumbhaka sadhanam. This kumbhaka sadhanam is jaganyam. Jaganyam means very lower, nicha, low, compared to the sadhana which is practiced by those people whose minds are pure and practicing pranayama by observing the breath. Compared to them, those who are practicing kumbhaka sadhana, even though it is low, no doubt about it. Hatayoga vihitam kumbhaka sadhanam tathapi. Although, even then, tathapi, kesham chit adhikarinam tadeva anivaryam varishtam sadhanam. For some people, that alone anivarya sadhanam. It cannot be indispensed. But it becomes indispensable sadhana for some people. You cannot get away with it. For those people who want to achieve kumbhakam, Hatha Yoga alone is the means. For others, anivarya. You cannot avoid that sadhana. Bhavati iti Hatha Yoga sadhyam kumbhakam sadhanatvena upadishtam. Therefore, Hatha Yoga sadhanam to achieve kumbhakam is taught for all of the rest of the adhikaris in the world, those who are not practicing, not fit for observing the breath. Manusham janma praptavataha purushasya shreyas kamasya swaswarupam hrudayam praptavyam. Actually, what is desired is, having attained the manusham janma, human life, shreyas kamasya, and one who desires the shreya, real, not prayer. Shreya means ultimate good. One who desires ultimate good, having attained the human birth, for him, what is the best thing to do? Swaswarupam praptavyam. One, that person, if he is really interested in good, ultimate good, not temporary good, worldly good, ultimate good, shreyaha, what should be done by him? One should attain one's own swarupa. That is the real thing. Real shreya is only there in attaining one's own self, in discovering your own self. That is to be achieved. Those who wish to attain ultimate good, ultimate shreya, that is the adventure. Tatra yena kenapi upayena swaswarupa avasthito bhavet iti. Now, somehow or the other, by some technique, by some upaya you give, see that everybody is established in their own self. Yena kena upayena swaswarupa avasthito bhavet iti. Everyone should, purushanam, all people, those who are shreya kamasya, somehow they should also get established in their own self. But they cannot do this. So something has to be given. Okay? Iti purushanam paripaka bhedat upaya bhedaha. Depending upon the purity level, the upayas are different. Totally purified mind, then you can observe the breath and reach enlightenment. But my purification is not up to that mark. Then according to the purity levels, different techniques in Hatha Yoga are given, meant for different people. According to the purity level. Why? The ultimate purpose is to make everyone established in their own self. So, upaya bhedena, paripaka bhedat, upaya bhedan, tatra padashrayati Bhagavan Maharshahi. Here and there in his own teachings, in different places, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, according to the seeker's purity level, he advised different paths to different people according to their own purity level in different places throughout his literature or throughout his teachings. Tatra pradashrayati. Tasmad asya adhikari sapeksham upadishataha Sri Maharshehe na kopi api abhyupayo nishiddho bhavati. Therefore, keeping that adhikari sapeksham upadishataha, keeping that different levels of purity levels among seekers, so keeping them in view, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi से महर्षेः न कोऽपि अपि अभ्युपपायो निषिद्धो भवति. He never discarded, said no or negated to any means. He accepted all means of spirituality. That is the beauty of Ramana Maharshi. He never stuck to his own path of Uyamai all the time. That is a Mukhya Vichara. But Bhagavan never denied other paths according to the seeker's eligibility. Okay, you are eligible for that, do this. Eligible for that, you do this. Therefore, tasmad asya adhikari sapeksham upadishataha. अधिकारी इसको मन में लगाकर श्री महर्षेः न कोपी अभ्युपपायो निषिद्धो भवति. भगवान नेवर डिनाइड एनी मीन्स टू अचीव, टू प्रगति पाने के लिए ऑन द पाथ ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी. ही नेवर डिनाइड एनी पाथ. So every path is given by the rishis in the past, applicable to somebody at some level. Though Krishna said, Joshayet sarva karmani vidvan yukta samacharet. So, therefore, ekameva nishiddham. But one thing alone is to be denied, negated, rejected. One thing is to be, must be rejected. He says, commentary says. Tacha samupasthite nityasreyasya atmaswarupe tad vaimukhyakarakam jadikrutamanaskam upahata purushakaram alasyameva iti alam vistarena. Now, if anything has to be discarded, इधर कोई छोड़ना पड़ेगा. If it is to be discarded, laziness alone to be discarded, around Maharshi said. What laziness? Nitya sreyasya atmaswarupe tad vaimukhya. That atmaswarupa, which is real welfare. Nitya always available to us. It is our own swarupa. It is real welfare. Real welfare, nitya sreya. The sreya is real welfare. That is nitya vastu. It is siddha vastu in me. And that is there always. Nitya sreyasya atmaswarupe tad vaimukhya karakam. Turning away from the source of your own self, which is the bestower of real welfare to all of us. The mind, which is turning away from the source and running after the world, jadikruta manaskam, running after the jadabhutam, mana, insentient, running after the worldly objects, upahata purushakaram, completely withdrawn from the self and running after the world, that alasyameva iti, that alone has to be rejected. But follow any path, whatever you wanted to. March towards the self, turn towards that self, but don't turn. If at all anything is to be rejected, no path is to be rejected except laziness in turning our mind towards the self. Not necessarily for through Jnana Marga, but Bhagavan ke aur sumukhi bhava, but that's it. That is to be rejected. Outward mind alone is to be rejected. Nothing else to be rejected. यदि आपको छोड़ना है तो आलस्य को छोड़ो. So Ramana Maharshi gave, he said, कुंभक साधन के लिए one should practice Hatha Yoga also. For those people who are not fit for the first sadhana of observing the breath. Okay. Now, atha hatayoginah bahuda shwasa adana visarjana kala pramanani brvanti. Now when you see Hatha Yoga book, open it. There are thousands of pranayama techniques are given. Thousands. Thousands of varieties of pranayamas are there. And one has to practice keeping the time, count. So time के साथ जोड़ते हुए, समय के साथ जोड़ते हुए, these sadhanas, Hatha Yoga pranayamas are to be practiced, and there are thousands of them. So, Hatha Yoginaha Bahuda Swasa Adana Visarjana Kala Pramanani Purvanti. Tatra Ekam Kala Pramanam Iha Nirdharya Pranayama Upadishyate. Some formula Bhagavan Maharshi took one thing, or one among the many, Bhagavan advised. One prana, Hatha Yoga Pranayama Vidhanam is advised by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. For those people who are unable to achieve kumbhakam, retention of the mind, through observing the breath. What is that? Ekada rechakam kuryat kuryat purakam ekada kumbhakam tu chaturvaram nadi shuddhir bhavet tataha. No, ekada rechakam kuryat. Rechakam nishwasam ekada ekavaram kuryat. So one count rechakam, exhalation. Purakam uchwasam ekada ekavaram kuryat. So one count of inhaling, one count of exhaling. Kumbhakam Shwasarodham to Chaturvaram. So count 4 and hold the Kumbhaka. So you count 2, 8, 2, 3, 12, 3, 4 times. 4 times inhaling, 4 counts. 16 in Kumbhakam and 4 Rechakam. 4, 16, 4. So ratio is 1:4:1. So you can if you are powerful, you can keep on, you can do Purakam 8 count. So 8 into 4, 32 Kumbhakam and 8 Rechakam. You can go 16 Purakam. And Kumbhakam 64 times. And 16, you can increase if you want. But formula is 1:4:1. That if you do, Tataha Rechaka Puraka Kumbhaka Abhyasat Nadi Shuddhi Bhavet. All the nadis are channels of prana. In that sara khasada bhara hua hai. That's it. All the dirt, bad energies, filled with bad thought. Every thought is energy. So bad thoughts, ahara shuddhi is not there. Vichara shuddhi is not there. Vyavahara shuddhi is not there. Achara, vichara, vyavahara. Ahara also is not there. So ahara shuddhi, achara shuddhi, and vichara shuddhi. Ahara shuddhi is not there. Achara, conduct when you are alone, not there. Vyavahara with others, not there. Vichara, not there. So 4 shuddhis are required. What are they? Achara shuddhi, vyavahara shuddhi, ahara shuddhi, vichara shuddhi. The 4 shuddhis are to be there. But they are not there. So through pranayama, because of this, all the nadis have become impure. They are not shining. They are not majestic. They are not, they are called fine silvery threads. The flow of prana brilliantly flowing. Crystal clear. Prana Shakti. Not there. So nadi shuddhi bhavet. Atha nadi nam ashuddhe eva pranasya aniyamatatvat. See, the impurity in the nadis is because of lack of prana shuddhi, improper prana, irregular breath. Irregular breath is also caused by your own food, thoughts. Suddenly you get a shock. Breath changes. All junk food eaten, breath changes. So all the four shuddhis which I spoke now. So and then they disturb the pranic rhythm. When prana rhythm is achieved through pranayama and also sat, along with it, ahara shuddhi, vichara shuddhi, vyavahara shuddhi, ahara shuddhi. When you do all these things. Then what happens? Pranasya niyamatitvat. Tacha shodhane prano vachito bhavati. So when the nadi channels are purified because of pranayama, see the prana is purified, the channels also get purified. So that's how the nadi shuddhi takes place. Through pranayama. Otherwise, all kinds of food we put into that. Everything, tamogunam food you eat, every body is sleepy. Every part is also tamogunam only. If you drink a lot, every part of the body is also in drunken mood. They also don't work properly. If you rajasic food you eat, mirchi, girchi and all that, every cell jumps and very hyperactivity and then disturbs your mind. So tamasic food, Satvik ahar, Rajasic ahar, Tamasic ahar, 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 3 types of food. That's all happening. Therefore, Nadi Shuddhi Bhavet. Prano Nadishu Shuddhaso Niruddha Kramasho Bhavet. Pranasya sarvatha rodaha shuddham kumbhakam uchyate. Nadishu sukshmasu, this is very dhamani, very subtle threads there. Nadis are very subtle. Not the nerves. Very fine threads. Shuddhasu, when they attain purity, shuddhim gatasu pranayamena vidhena. By pranayama, when all the nadi channels become purified, prana kramasho ruddho bhavet. So, when the channels are, prana comes under control gradually. Because the channels also purified, prana becomes under control. Prana kramena abhyasa balat vashito niyamitah syaditi yavat. So, abhyasa balat, by the strength of practice, kramena, slowly, over a period of time, the nadi becomes shuddhi, purified. Sarvatha sarprakarena pranasya rodo nigraha. So that means sarvatha, always, sarprakarena, by all means and always, pranasya rodo nigraha shuddham kumbha. So by all means and always, if prana is completely under control, retention takes place. It is called shuddham kumbhakam. It is called pure kumbhakam, retention. Kumbhakam uchyate. That is called kumbhakam. So pranayama technique, the breath becomes, we can retain breath kumbhakam. Shuddham, it retains shuddham, and a rhythm is established, that is called kumbhakam. Sampurna pranarodha eva purnam kumbhakam. And complete total control of prana retention is called purnam kumbhakam. It is full kumbhakam bhavati. So this is the pranayama technique for kumbhakam. So through prana, yama, this formula. So many formulas are there in Hatha Yoga. Ramana Maharshi gave 1:4:1. So nadi shuddhi takes place. But along with it, 4 shuddhis we have to practice. Vichara shuddhi, ahara shuddhi, achara shuddhi, vyavahara shuddhi. Achara shuddhi means conduct of yourself. When you are alone also important. Vyavahara is when you are moving in the world outside. So, then it becomes purified. Otherwise, when sub kachra rakhe, who am I, nothing will happen. Okay? Nothing has been happening. मैं बहुत साल से मेडिटेट कर रहा हूँ, मैं वो कर रहा हूँ, ये करते आया हूँ, कुछ नहीं होता, होगा भी नहीं, मैं होना चाहिए। यूँ के जिद्द करने से क्या, भगवान क्या डर जाता है क्या? धमकी देते हो क्या भगवान से? अभी चाहिए मेरे मुक्ति, भगवान अभी मुझे मुक्ति दे दो, तो धमकी दे रहे हो भगवान को। रावण महर्षि के पास जाके किसी ने पूछा मोक्ष चाहिए अभी दे दो, भगवान बोले मोक्ष क्या है, एक मैं कपड़ा में कुछ बांध के रखा क्या बांटने के लिए? ऐसा भगवान पूछा है। डू यू थिंक आई एम कीपिंग इट्स एनीथिंग क्लॉथ में, कपड़े में बांध के रखते हैं ना सब? इज इट दैट वे आई कैन डिस्ट्रीब्यूट मोक्षा? यू अचीव what you want. Your sadhana, no guru can help you, no Ishvara can help you. They can only guide you from a distance. Google can tell you where to go, if it is a good Google. But you have to drive, no? Google can go turn right, turn left, bolta rahega. That lady speaks, turn right, turn left. If you switch it on that voice, you have to follow, na? So there is no other way. So thus, complete Kumbhakam is achieved. Now further, what Ramana Maharshi says, we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.